Welcome to the Inspiration Hour with Luce and Mac, as we inspire by sharing real people's stories and their exhilarating journeys. We all learn by sharing our gifts and talents through the power of talking with one guest at a time. Get cozy, get your favorite nighttime drink, and let's get ready to be wowed with inspiration.
Buenos dias, mi gente. Happy Monday. How's everyone? This is Luz Maria Mac, reporting live from the Bronx. Just so excited. This day we have a special friend, new friend. I've been following her for quite some time, and let me tell you a little bit about her. Her name is Padgy Soltis. She's a mother, a writer, and a bachata dance enthusiast living in North Carolina with her husband. Two sons and their one-eyed Chihuahua, Jack. Padgy serves in the military and was deployed, spending 9 months away from her oldest son. Inspired by the difficulty of separation and the altered view of the world given to her through motherhood, Padgy turned to writing. Her children's book, I Will Come Back. It's a short, sweet, heart-wrenching assurance dedicated to not just her own sons, but children everywhere who be experiencing the pain of being away from someone they love. When she's not writing, Padgy is an avid reader and enjoys photography, spending time with her family, and eating her mother's cooking. She's born and raised in New Jersey by parents that immigrated from the Dominican Republic, and she's been in the military, the Marine Corps, since May 2011. And will be leaving the service in the summer of 2022. She has a bachelor's degree from Campbell University, and she's just simply amazing. And further ado, let me welcome Padgy. Padgy, are you there?
Yes, hello. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. And can you just correct me if I'm saying your name right? Is it Padgy?
Yes, you said it perfectly.
Perfect. I always want to make sure. You know, to me it's important because growing up I was called so many different alternatives than my name. So yeah. I always suffer through it. So this is the first time we're meeting, and I'm so excited because I've been following your journey.
You probably felt like you had that gift to run with that, right? Now, when did you realize spiritually, like, wow,
it seems like we have some other people
on the road and
joining the call.
I wasn't a child prodigy. I didn't grow up training how to sing. And when did you realize that you wanted to preach the word?
Sorry about that, Padgy. I'm not sure what happened, but listen, I've been following your journey since, I want to say, a good 8 months. I saw your talk in Dominican Writers in that Instagram Live, and I really just connected to a lot of the things you were talking about as you explored motherhood and how you started writing, because we share a very similar journey, because that's how I got inspired to write because of my own children. I didn't have the experience that you did, that you had to face deployment, which I can imagine that's just so hard. And I just want to hear a little bit more from you, how you decided that you were going to just write this book altogether.
Got it. So I actually wrote this in 2016, so it's been a while, and it's kind of just sitting, off in a box, collecting dust kind of thing. And I wrote it because it was when my son was 8 months old back in 2016. They sent me to Texas for 2 months of training. And, being a new mom, it was really hard for me, and I kind of just got my feelings out on paper. Just as a reminder that I'm going to come back to him. Even though he was 8 months old, he didn't understand anything that was going on. It was just really hard for me. So I just put it all on paper, and it's kind of been tucked away since then. And 2020 happened, and it was such a crazy year. And I've always wanted to publish my book. And so I said, you know what, it's time to get on the Google machine and YouTube and figure out how I can get this done.
So that's interesting. I didn't know you had written it since then, and you just held on to it. Was it a lot of fear before writing, putting it out there, or was it that you just wasn't sure how to go about it?
Honestly,
I'm like really curious because, you know, a lot of people that I've known that save stories, once they save it for a long time, they're like, maybe tomorrow, and then they put it off for many more years.
yeah. I just honestly didn't know where to start. Like, I just had no idea. I remember back in 2016, I was like, I feel like this could be like a really good book. And I did like a very basic search, and I was just so overwhelmed with information because it is a lot of information that comes at you when it comes to self-publishing. And so I just never took it anywhere else. And then I deployed when my son was 2 years old for 9 months. So that was a lot harder on me. And then I found manuscript in 2020, and just finding it again kind of just sparked something in me. 2020 was a rough year, not just, for the world, but for my family especially. And I realized how much that we don't know how much time we have on this earth, basically. And that's why I said, you know what, I need to take matters into my own hands. If I want to see this as a book, I'm going to do it myself. And so I went and pushed forward, and a couple months later, it's a reality.
Oh, man, like what you just said, we don't know how much time we have left. Oh, I think about that so much. And I don't know if it's just because of the crazy last 2 years we've been having, but I am always thinking about what is my legacy and what is it that I want to leave in this earth. And to me, like, my books feel so personal because I know, like, this is a message that, my family and my kids, like, will carry forward. And for you, it seems like not only your book, but, the love you have for your family and the way you describe them. I could just imagine your thoughts in the future about other projects you want to work on to be part of your legacy. So what would that be?
So I don't, I love ideas. I love being creative. My husband would say I have too many ideas and too many projects going on. But I do have other things that I would like to put out there, whether that's going to be the self-publishing route or the traditional route. That's a story for another day. But right now, things are on pause. Like you said in the intro, I am exiting the military at the end of this contract, so that's a big life change for me, and I'm preparing myself for that.
So what's so funny? I grew up Mormon, Latter-day Saint, and a lot of my friends that they married military spouses, or they themselves got into the military. And I've heard just like how much resilience they learned from being in the military. And some of them made it a lifestyle. They move every so often, and they're used to the long, celebrating the holidays on when they get to. I've heard often that they're celebrating Christmas in March or celebrating Christmas in August, like those random months, because that's when everyone's together as a family. So yeah. I could just imagine you've experienced that yourself at home.
Yes, we have. And my husband's also in the military, so we get it on both sides.
Oh, wow.
Time being away, yeah.
Yeah. So how do you celebrate birthdays? I'm always love knowing that from military families, because they always try to do something so special for their children, so they know I'm with you even though I'm not there for your birthday.
Yeah. So I was gone when my son turned 3 years old, and that was hard for me. But I did basically all the planning while I was in Afghanistan. So ordering the decorations. I ordered a bouncy house that my husband had to deal with alone.
Good job, Daddy. You took one for the team.
Yeah. But I got it was a PJ Masks, his birthday for his 3rd birthday, and I got us matching shirts. So he had his shirt and his dad had the shirt, and then I had a shirt in Afghanistan, so, when I FaceTime him, he could see that I had the same shirt on. So even though I wasn't there, I was celebrating with him.
That's so sweet. And what a good theme, PJ Masks. My son wore this blue shirt that I got him for PJ Masks. I forgot the character's name, the one that has the blue. Catboy, yeah. He had the Catboy hoodie, the Catboy book bag, and he was all about Catboy for a good while. So we're big PJ Masks fans here in the family. Now he's older. He's 7. He says he's a man. So we'll see what he gets into. But he's pretty much in love with Spider-Man. I always love Batman, and I'm always trying to get him into Batman. So he's still a huge Marvel fan. So I wanted to kind of touch on a lot of the things you talked about. When you found your manuscript again, you decided you were going to go for it. And, self-publishing a book is a pretty daunting process. I've gone through it several times. And even though now I'm about to be published in a traditional route, I've seen the difference. And even when I got my 2 last books published by different publishers, I noticed a lot of the support you have as a writer, because when you're self-publishing, you are the marketing team, you are the cheerleader of the whole book.
You're everything.
Telling everyone, you're your editor, and then you pay an editor in some cases and still look over the editor you paid. You're getting an illustrator. You handle the budget and all those things. Were there any resources that you found that were helpful to you when you started this journey?
Honestly, the best resource was connecting with fellow self-published authors. So I've connected with a couple of people on IG and on Facebook pages that revolve around the self-publishing type of industry. But honestly, that was just the best place. You can search the group for topics that are discussed on a regular basis, or ask a question, and people are so willing to help. The community that I have found, I've connected with so many people from around the world that I've never met. Just like, yourself, we've never met physically.
No. Yeah, we never met physically.
In the virtual space.
We never talked. We always DM'd. We have each other's emails. We have ways to get in touch with each other, but yet we don't know each other. And I think you're one of my newest author friend that I've I learned so much because I was just so intrigued by you, because there are a lot of mommies that write books, right? But I think your story just touched me so much, just knowing that you were the amount of times you were deployed, how this kind of shaped you as a woman, and then how you wanted to just leave your mark for your children by writing this book. And to me, that was just so touching, and I related to it so much just because that's how my journey started with my daughters. I wanted to just make them feel like they were seen and special by writing my first children's book. And let me tell you, writing a children's book, you have to really, really get yourself out there and, practice emotional bravery, because there were so many times I wrote the book and I didn't want to talk about it with no one. And I don't know if that happened to you, but I remember I was having brunch. I think it was brunch. Something was happening, and we were at an eating table, and someone was like, yeah, Luz wrote a book, and I'm like, shh. I remember, I almost put my hand over their mouth, stop that, don't say that. And I wasn't talking about the book as much as I should have. Did you ever have those moments?
Oh, I definitely had that moment. I remember it took a while. I started doing things for the book, and my husband knew about it, but he didn't know that I was going to self-publish and put it out there into the world, because I just had all of these doubts. I got my book edited, I think 4 times, and it was so hard for me because the things that the editors, their feedback that they gave me were changed the script. And in my eyes, I was like, okay, this is a professional editor, so maybe like manuscript is that good, you know, because they're recommending these changes and all this stuff. So that's why I got it edited so many times. I did have, you know, what people call imposter syndrome, like, is my writing actually good? And you know what, at the end of the day, after I finally, you know, talked to my husband about what I was doing, and he knew how I wanted my story to be told. And he said, you know, Padgy, stick with your story the way that you want it to sound. Doesn't matter what anyone else wants to hear. This is your story. And so I did take his advice, but I very much was hiding under a rock for a long time.
Oh, he sounds like a good one. And I have to admit, and I'm glad you shared that intimate, you know, conversation between you and your husband, because there's a lot of times as a writer, I go through things that I have to consult with my husband. And just for those who are listening, my husband is not like a writer. He loves to read books, and he reads all the time. And he's read a lot of the children's books with me, but sometimes, like, when I'm like writing my story, I get like really lost with the business side of things. There's a lot of mechanisms and processes I have to follow to make things through. And when he sees other people interjecting their beliefs or what they think should happen, he always helps me like quiet down and be like, no, this is how you want to write your story. This is what you've been talking about. Let's talk it through. And I think it helps having someone that's kind of like a neutral party but always advocating for you to help you get centered. So that's really like kudos for having your man like do that, because it's hard. It's so hard.
Yeah, it is hard because, like I said, there's a lot of information out there, and it's very easy to get analysis paralysis where there's just so much you can't make a decision. But at the end of the day, you have to make a decision if you're going to move forward with this project. And like you said, just having someone who's going to bring you back center so that you can calm down and make the right choice for your book.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. I think I'll give you like one tidbit of my headaches when I was doing the Maria book. Once the Maria book was out, I had opportunities where people were offering to like republish the book, but they wanted to change the character. Like they wanted her to look whiter, or they wanted her hair to look different, or, you know, like all this like information. And then after me being very confident in myself, like now the opportunities that were presented, or people saying like, we really love this story, she's perfect as it is, what else are you going to write? Like it just took a while, but I had to be very confident, because if I don't, like, you know, this was before I wrote my third book, I could have got drowned out by all those outside voices giving information that was really like really unsolicited. What do you think about it?
No, yeah, I definitely agree. I've encountered people. Like I said, I got to edit it 4 times. It's change this, change that. It sounds better like this, and it's just it can get overwhelming. I think that as long as you have a vision, though, and whether it's you or someone else who can put you back on the right path when you feel like you're straying, you should be good.
Yeah. Definitely. I know you talked about, you know, being in the military as a Marine Corps. Can you tell us a little bit about, I don't want to call it your day job, because being in the military is not a day job. It's very unique.
24/7 job.
Yes. It's 24/7, and when you're working, you're definitely working. It's not like you get breaks like that. Anything you can share? Because I think that's, you know, it's really cool to know a Afro-Latina that's in the military.
Yeah, no problem. So right now, my job, I actually write contracts for the government. So that's my, if you want to call it, day job kind of thing. And it's basically, anything a unit might need in order to support them whether they're forward deployed or here back on base. I write contracts for what they need. So, my job's not super sexy and, super dangerous or anything like that, but we are important to the mission. And I do enjoy the work that I do within the military.
Oh, wow. And you've been doing this for a while? The contract piece? Or were you doing something else within the military?
Before this, I moved into the contracting field in 2016. And before that, I was in the kind of finance realm of the Marine Corps.
Okay. Wow. So you definitely moved around in the military, got a lot of great experience. So I could just imagine how excited you are to start your new chapter once your contract ends.
Very excited.
Are you going to take a long break before getting back to working and just enjoy the family, or are you going to dabble more in writing full time?
I won't be able to write full time. No, I'm actually trying to make a complete career change. Which I have no background in, so this is going to be fun. So yeah, I'm breaking.
Wait, can you say that? Wait, can you say the industry again? I didn't hear you right. I'm sorry.
Technology. So I'm looking into software development.
Oh my gosh, that is such a lucrative field. My husband is a programmer, so kudos to you. Yes, he's been doing that. He got his degree from Carnegie Mellon, and he loves it. It's it's definitely it has its challenges. You have to know a lot, and even when you're going into different career paths within computers, a lot of the industry now, they test your knowledge really hard before you get selected, because there's so many engineers going for the same positions. So the competition is definitely getting fierce, but I think it's so awesome, and we need more women in tech.
Yeah. So I'm taking actually my first class with college right now. And I've enjoyed it so far, so I'm excited to see what's to come.
Oh my gosh, I was so horrible. I took a Python class, and it made me so angry because I didn't understand what the heck they were talking about. And my husband was like, that's good. That means you're trying to connect the dots and make sense of it. But to me, it was just such a frustrating endeavor trying to figure out what was happening. But no, it's good. And through that experience, I became very focused that all my kids need to be way smarter than me, so they all take coding classes. My daughter, she finally learned how to make a teddy bear move by using I forgot is it Scrum? I forgot the program. I forgot the program. But she was learning how to do that, and my older daughter was taking some of the entry courses. But honestly, they all know how to do this so much more than me. So I'm just so happy they're taking this at a younger age, because if they wait to take this when they're old, I feel bad for them, because it's really hard. I know we talked about your day job, if we should call it a day job, your new career path, which I'm so excited for you, and the inspiration behind I Will Come Back. What's next?
In regards to writing?
Yes, in regards to writing. Are you going to take it further? I really hope you do, because I really think you really tapped into something, not only the creativity piece that I think your soul craves, and I see that you're really good at it, but you have such a heartwarming way of capturing a story, and we'll love to see what's next.
I definitely want to take it further to see where it goes. I have a million and one story ideas, you know, on my notepad. I'll just drive and I see them. I'm like, oh, wow, that's a story right there. But just a lot of working drafts. I'm not going full-fledged with it right now just because of all those things, the moving pieces in our lives. But once things settle down and I have more time to breathe, I'm definitely going to pursue more storytelling.
Oh, that's awesome. I was working on a piece for at least 8 months, just so you know, and I still didn't think it was good enough to finish, so I've been attacking it a little by, a little at a time. So sometimes it just takes time, and I get it, the moving pieces. So if you need any advice, I'm happy to help because I know how that feels. Do you have any advice for those who want to follow your footsteps and become a writer?
My best goal is stop allowing the little to keep you from your dreams. Because I have dreamed about publishing a book, and I have held back on that dream because I never thought I was good enough. And I finally did it, and I'm so happy. I'm so proud of myself. So don't allow your negative thoughts to impede your progress.
That is so true. That is so true. I really like to welcome people when they're thinking about doing something that's really scary and it's out of their comfort zone, to write it down, like what that goal is, or to even write it down like in a sticky and put it on a mirror or something so they could see it constantly so they don't forget. So they don't get that opportunity to push it back and be like, I'm not doing this. Like, that's too scary.
I am a fan of stickies.
Yeah, definitely. There's some things that I still want to try out, but I'm still scared of. So, So I have made it a goal that I want to write a musical, and I've written a couple of songs. Actually, one of them I shared with my producer, Jerry, who is actually helping on the podcast right now. But I wanted to be part of a larger piece, and because this is such a new realm for me, I'm taking a class with playwriting, and I'll see how it goes. But I'm really excited to dabble in that. I do like music a lot. I'm not like the best music writer, so I'm just like really intrigued about musicals and things like that. I still remember when I was little, I didn't even know English, and my mom put Singing in the Rain. Like, and the whole time I was humming the music, right? And the sound of music, and I can't remember the names of these other plays, but my mom liked the musicals where the women were dancing in water, like underwater, like this whole swimming thing. I forgot the name, but it like musicals were a big part of my life growing up, like seeing that, and it makes sense, right? Because in Dominican Republic there wasn't a lot of cartoons, right? So there was like a lot of like some kid programming, and then the rest was either like what was made for families with like musicals or storytelling things, shows, but that was it. It was very limited. So I've always wanted to do something.
That's all. And I think you'd be great at it. So, hey, if I can learn code as, I'm a little older, I'm entering this tech field, I think you got this.
I hope so. I don't know, or else I'm just going to play with it and have fun. But I'm really, really excited. And also, I was looking at the amount of individuals that write and compose who have like a huge plethora, like a huge catalog of music. And I always tell them, what are you going to do with it besides making CDs? Like, I'm sure you can make it into a bigger body of work, like writing a musical of it. And everyone looks at me crazy because I'm like thinking ahead for them. Like if they're writing a lot of music about love, right? Why don't you connect it all and write like a bigger piece,
Yeah.
like a romantic piece? So I have a lot of musical friends, and they like the ideas, but they're always like, I don't know if I could do that. But I really like supporting artists with their work. So I'm so into that. But
well, I will buy tickets if you ever get this out there.
yeah, one day, we got it. We got this. So I'm gonna move to this segment of the episode where we play this game. It's called Finish the Sentence. And one of the reasons we do this is to, just to get to know you in a more fun way, things that are in your mind, and not just as a mom, a wife, a writer, but, things that you want, Padgy. Okay, so finish the sentence. My dream vacation is?
Bali.
Oh, my gosh, good one. I've been thinking of a lot about Greece lately. I don't know.
Oh, yes.
My husband's been to it. I haven't, but I always wanted to go. I can't live without. What's something that comes into your mind that you can't live without?
I can't.
Really? I'm thinking of mangoes.
I
know, I'm so random. I'm thinking of mangoes for some reason. Do you see this isn't like such a fun way to get to know each other even better? Oh, my favorite food is. So your bio talked about your mother's cooking, so she must cook something that is your favorite.
Anything my mother cooks is my favorite.
Anything?
Don't understand that woman is, yes, she is a magician in the kitchen. But if I had to pick, oh my gosh, I cannot pick one thing that my mom cooks.
Okay, so I'll veto that, and I'll just put mommy's cooking because I totally feel it.
Mommy's cooking.
I've been craving sancocho lately.
Oh.
With aguacate. I'm in the Bronx.
Anything with plátanos, and
Me too.
In North Carolina where they barely sell plátanos. They don't sell salami. They don't sell queso frito. They don't sell any of that.
Oh, I got you beat. I used to live in Utah, and I also used to live in Idaho. And I remember the one time I saw them. I say I saw them, but meaning them, the grocery store, have plátanos. I got so excited. I think I bought and they were so expensive. I can't remember. It was $5, and it was $3 or $4.
Yeah.
And by the time I got home with them, they were yellow. And I was so mad. I was like, yo quería mango. That was the whole purpose. But yeah, I feel you. You're not. Yeah, it is definitely a struggle. What is your biggest inspiration?
Oh, that's easy. My kids.
Yeah.
Both my boys.
That's so beautiful. Are you going to have another baby? Or are you just going to stay with him? That's so sweet. My husband is begging me for one more, but I think 3 is a good number.
Yeah.
And people describe you as?
Determined.
I agree. That is a good word for you. So, Padgy, thank you so much for joining us for Inspiration Hour with Luz. You've been fantastic. It was such a pleasure to get to know you more intimately and finally to get to connect with you. I've been following your work and I definitely admire you. And I could definitely say you are a determined individual, and I hope everyone takes, this inspirational hour and learn a little bit about Padgy and using her determination to say, I might not have all the answers, but I'm just going to go for it. So we all need that in our lives.
And thank you for having me. I have your book too, of Maria Loves to Dance, I believe the name is.
Yes,
Loves to Dance. Yeah. I love the book. I love the illustrations and all the amazing work that you are currently doing. I'm definitely rooting for you.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. It means a lot, especially coming from someone I respect and I admire so much. And, you know, if you could just share with people where we could find you and where can we find your book?
So the book is available on Amazon and Target. It is titled I Will Come Back, Volveré de Nuevo. And you can find me on Instagram at Padgy with 4 Y's at the end.
Awesome. Well, thank you, everyone, for joining. Have a great night. Night, Padgy. Thank you again.
Bye.
Bye.
That brings us to the end of our Inspiration Hour with Luz, and I hope you're feeling unstoppable. If you enjoy our show, please follow me on Instagram or Facebook at LuzMacOfficial, or check out my website at www.luzmac.com. Review, like, and heart us. And don't forget to spread the inspiration with others. And be sure to come back next week as I help you find your inspiration in the little things, one talk at a time.